Most people over the age of 55 believe that fixing their balance requires a gym membership, complex yoga poses, or intense workouts. They think that if they aren't sweating or using fancy equipment, they aren't making progress. But the truth is actually the opposite. Trying to force stability through high-intensity training often leads to frustration and can even result in injury. We aren't trying to become Olympic gymnasts here. The goal is simply to feel confident when you are reaching for a cup, walking down the driveway, or navigating a flight of stairs. The most effective way to regain that confidence doesn't happen in a fitness center. It happens right in your kitchen, using a method that is safe, natural, and takes only 10 minutes. This routine comes directly from modern physiotherapy research and is used in real-world balance clinics. It distills decades of clinical practice into a simple home routine designed with safety as the top priority. Before we look at the specific movements, we need to understand the why. Balance isn't just about muscle strength or how fit you are. It is a complex process managed by 3 specific sensory systems in your body. These are your vision, your inner ear, or vestibular system, and a third critical system called proprioception. Proprioception is arguably the most fascinating part of the equation, yet it is often the most overlooked. Think of proprioception as your body's internal unconscious global positioning system, or GPS. It is the ability to sense exactly where your feet and hands are in space without having to look at them. When you were younger, this system was lightning fast. But as we navigate the aging process, the nerve signals throughout the body tend to slow down. The tiny, specialized sensors located in your muscles, tendons, and joints become slightly less sensitive. This means that when you stumble or step on an uneven surface, your brain takes milliseconds longer to detect the wobble. That tiny delay might not seem like much, but it is often the difference between correcting your balance or taking a fall. The brain is simply slower to send the correction signal and execute the muscle contraction needed to steady you. The 10-minute routine we are about to cover is essentially a software update for this internal GPS. It is designed to intentionally challenge the system, forcing it to process signals faster. This is why consistency is so much more important than intensity. We are aiming for neuroplasticity, which is the brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself and form new neural connections. Gentle, repetitive stimulus is the safest way to foster this change. When you understand this, the exercises stop feeling like a chore and start feeling like essential neurological maintenance. Let's start with the first foundational movement: chair stand-ups. This movement is designed to build hip and leg strength, which is the engine that powers your balance. To do this safely, you must always use a sturdy, non-wheeled chair. Position your feet shoulder-width apart to create a solid base. Sit on the edge of the chair and press your feet firmly into the floor. The goal is to stand up without using your hands. If you are just starting and need a little assistance, it is perfectly fine to gently push off your thighs. Once you are standing, the most important part begins: the descent. Lower yourself slowly back to the starting position, taking a full 3 seconds to sit down. This slow, controlled movement is what builds the necessary control in your legs. Aim for 10 repetitions. If you have knee arthritis or pain, you can modify this. Use your hands more liberally for support and only go as far down as is comfortable. We want to work around the pain, never through it. While building this physical strength is vital, there is a specific mistake that acts like a trap, undermining all your hard work. This is called the vision trap, and it involves looking down at your feet. When we feel unsteady, our natural instinct is to stare at the floor. It feels safer because you can see exactly where you are stepping. However, this actually trains your brain to rely too heavily on vision while ignoring your inner ear and your internal GPS. Your brain uses your eyes to confirm your position. If you are always looking down, you are essentially turning off the other 2 balance systems. The problem arises when you eventually look up, perhaps to see a traffic light or greet a friend. The moment you look up, your primary stabilization tool, your vision, changes and your balance system is shocked and destabilized. To fix this, you must practice horizon scanning. Whether you are walking or doing these exercises, consciously train yourself to keep your gaze fixed on a point about 10 to 15 feet in front of you. This forces your inner ear and proprioception to do their jobs, making them stronger and more reliable over time. Now that we are looking at the horizon, let's move to the second physical exercise, the side shuffle and knee lift. This move focuses on dynamic control. In the real world, we don't just stand still, we move sideways to navigate around coffee tables or step off curbs. This exercise trains your body to shift weight quickly and handle those changes. Stand near a kitchen counter or the back of a sturdy sofa so you can rest one hand lightly on it for safety. Take 2 small steps to your right, a side shuffle, then stop completely. Once you are stopped, lift your left knee up as high as is comfortable and hold it for a brief moment. Then lower the leg, take 2 steps back to the left and lift your right knee. The magic here is in the controlled stop and the lift. You want to minimize the time your foot is on the floor during that lift phase. We will do 5 complete sets on each side. If you need a chair-friendly option, you can remain seated and lift 1 knee at a time, holding for 3 seconds. Even in a seated position, this activates the core and hip flexor muscles that are vital for lifting your feet and clearing obstacles. If you have knee issues, keep the lift very low. Focus on the slow movement and the shift of weight rather than how high you can get your knee. It is about control, not height. Moving on to the third and perhaps most impactful exercise, the heel-to-toe stand. This is widely considered the single most effective movement for sharpening stability. People consistently report that this specific move helps them feel steadier and more confident faster than any other. It mimics the narrow stance of walking and directly challenges your ability to balance. For safety, keep both hands ready to grab a solid support like a wall or counter. Place the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other foot, as if you are standing on a tightrope. Distribute your weight evenly between both feet. Remember the vision trap. Do not stare at your feet. Fix your gaze on a spot on the wall in front of you. We are aiming to hold this position for 30 seconds on one side before switching to the other. If 30 seconds feels too long, you can break it down into 3 10-second holds with a short rest in between. This is a stability test, so do not worry if you wobble. In fact, the wobble is good. When you feel that slight wobble and then stop yourself before losing control, you have hit the learning sweet spot. You are training the nervous system, not just the muscles. If you find this easy, that is a wonderful sign of success, but it means you are ready to progress. To make it harder, try the same stance, but close your eyes for 5 to 10 seconds. This removes your visual reference entirely and forces your internal GPS to work exponentially harder. Just ensure you are standing right next to a wall so you can grab support immediately if needed. Now, exercise is only half the equation. You cannot build a stable house on a crumbling foundation. We need to talk about what you put inside your body. Food fix. Number 1 is protein. Balance requires muscle resilience, and we need muscle to catch ourselves if we stumble. Unfortunately, after age 60, we face sarcopenia, which is the natural loss of muscle mass. The solution isn't just eating more food, it is eating more high-quality protein. As you age, your body actually becomes less efficient at processing protein, which means your daily needs increase. You should aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at each main meal. Do not just load up at dinner time. This could be a large handful of nuts and seeds with your breakfast. It could be a portion of chicken or fish the size of your palm at lunch. Or you can incorporate a plant-based or whey protein powder into a morning smoothie. Studies show that simply eating more protein, especially when combined with resistance moves like the chair stand-ups, is one of the most effective ways to stabilize muscle mass. This directly improves your reaction time and stability. Food fix number 2 is vitamin D. Most people know vitamin D is for bone strength and preventing osteoporosis. While strong bones are crucial for fall prevention, vitamin D also has a direct documented impact on muscle function and balance. Low levels of vitamin D are associated with muscle weakness and a higher risk of falling. The issue is that it is almost impossible to get enough vitamin D from food alone. Sun exposure is often less effective as we age and can be risky for skin health. Therefore, the actionable fix is to talk to your doctor about supplementing with vitamin D3. A typical recommended dose for adults over 60 is often between 800 and 2,000 international units per day. However, this is a personalized number. Only your physician can confirm the right level for you, especially if you have other health conditions. Never start a supplement without consulting your primary care provider. You might be wondering how quickly this all works. The good news is that while building raw muscle strength takes time, improvements in proprioception happen much faster. Many individuals report feeling noticeably more confident and steady on their feet within just the first 10 days to 2 weeks. Your brain is a fast learner. If you give it the right stimulus, it adapts. This entire routine is only 10 minutes a day. It is superior to 30 minutes of unfocused activity because it is purposeful. Think of balance as a skill, like learning a musical instrument or a new language. Short bursts of specific daily practice yield better results than sporadic long sessions. So, here is your summary plan. For movement, do 10 slow chair stand-ups for leg power. Do 5 sets of side shuffles with knee lifts for dynamic control. And do 30 seconds of the heel-to-toe stand per foot to sharpen your internal GPS. For nutrition, prioritize 25 to 30 grams of protein at every meal and discuss vitamin D3 with your doctor. And finally, stop looking down when you walk. If you commit to this for the next 14 days, you will likely notice a measurable difference in your daily movement confidence. It's a small investment for a massive return in independence. If you know someone over 50 who's worried about losing leg strength or balance, send them this video. And if you want more simple, science-backed ways to stay strong and independent as you age, hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.